Zurab Tavberidze has just broken his arm at the AMC Absolute Men's Championship against Zambalat Zoryev. It is another incident of the by now classic spiral humeral fracture, as his upper arm bone could not withstand the twisting torque applied through Zurab's particular heavily outside style of pulling. It is the style of pulling that almost everybody preaches not to do, but some people still do it and get away with it. But in this case, it was not an unlimited ability. The specifics of this break are quite interesting, in that normally breaks happen in a more defensive position of the athlete, by the opponent pressing more on the arm than in this case, where we can see that Zambalat almost from the start was overpowered by Zurab's starting hit and forced to catch him on his pronation. From this point, Zurab continued to press into that pronation, and that force ended up being what broke the bone. Obviously, as far as the bone is concerned, torquing force is torquing force regardless of offensive or defensive positioning. But it is worth pointing out that Zambalat, whilst a very good arm wrestler, is not at the top level and probably not the strongest resistance Zurab came up against. So it's likely that this fracture was not an acute incident that happened entirely from this match, but had probably slowly accumulated over time, possibly enhanced by the repeated stress of the positions Zurab spent a lot of time in. Will he recover? Yes, probably. There does not look to be much in the way of complications. It's a pretty clean break, as is often the case with these fractures in this sport. Obviously, his training and style will have to be adjusted throughout and probably after the stages of recovery, so we may see him either move to the left arm as a priority and or change his style of technique for the right arm. Maybe we'll see him move to a more top roll style which will place less rotational stress on the arm. But this should serve as evidence that really nobody is immune to injuries in sports, even those who seem genetically superior and unbreakable. Do drugs enhance the risks? Very likely yes, since the amount of force being pushed through these structures is going to increase too, and as the athlete physically increases in size, it becomes harder for these structures to stay as tightly together and compact. And while the supporting structure may strengthen alongside these issues, whenever we deal with higher and higher forces, the risk when something does go awry becomes much worse. So he will be back, but that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.